What's going on, guys? It's New 603 bringing you a bit of a random commentary here. Before we get into it, last video, in case any of you missed it, was a weapon request live video. If you haven't checked those out, take a minute, go check it out. It's a cool series I do every Thursday. And if you do know of it, but you missed it, head on over, because I'm always looking for those class suggestions. So drop a comment or thumb up one that's already up there. I'd really appreciate it. As for this video, I want to talk about some ideas. Things that I've been thinking about that I really think would make Battlefield 3 better. When I think it needs to keep it enjoyable and keep it relevant, enough to last right up until Battlefield 4 is released. Before I get into this, please don't take this in a completely negative manner. It's not my intention. These are just some ideas that I would personally love to see change in the game, and I think it really would make the game better. So just want to be clear, I'm not just sitting here being completely negative and pissing and moaning about the game. It's just, I was thinking about it, I was like, the game's okay for me right now, but for me personally, if they enacted these changes, I think this game would be a lot better, and I would really thoroughly enjoy it right up for, another year, right up until Battlefield 4 beta. So, first and foremost, for me, I think the biggest issue that is really killing the playability of this game right now is I would get rid of the rentable servers. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy with this suggestion, but this is the problem I have with it. It's the ability to make these stupid rules. It's not necessarily that you can actually change it, because there's no way to enforce most of these rules outside of having an admin in there constantly checking out your server and seeing if people are following the rules, and if they don't, you get banned, or you just get kicked, but in most cases you get banned. And that's the biggest problem I find with it, is that people enact these stupid rules like no shotguns or no C4, or you're only allowed so many grenade kills, or you can only be such a high rank. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, why? What is the purpose of this? Like, do you not want people to have fun? That's your goal. You're gonna be a fun sponge. That's how I look at it when I see these absurd rules. It's like, why can't you just let people do what they want and have fun? Like, okay, if someone's being a complete fucktard and you're tired of it, sure. What the hell? It's your server. Just maybe send them a message. Maybe it's as simple as that. Just send them a quick message. But I guess that's too hard for some people. I really honestly think that the rent-a-server option, while at first I thought was going to be awesome, is single-handedly destroying this game. Because you have, like I said, so many people that just come up with these stupid rules, and you're getting kicked and banned for absolutely no reason or for stupid reasons. And it's just not enjoyable. And then the ticket counts is another thing entirely. And I know I brought this up in another video, and that was why I think Battlefield 3 is getting stale. And I still stand by it. I really honestly think that if it weren't for rented servers, this game could be so much better. But as it is right now, they are the #1 reason why this game is nowhere near as good as it should be. I miss the days of going into a normal server with normal rules and normal ticket numbers and having a pretty good variety of overall skill level. Teams weren't stacked. That's the other problem. You go into all these different servers and you've got team stacking going on like crazy because people care more about their points than they care about actually having fun. I don't know. I guess for some people having fun is just completely stacking teams and point whoring it up. I like an even match. I mean, I like winning as much as the next guy, but I feel like I want to earn it. It's not even, I do want to earn it. That's how I enjoy winning. I enjoy winning because I've earned it. We played the best. We outplayed people that were as evenly matched or better, and it makes you feel good about that. It's like, okay, we did really well. We worked together as a team. We had good tactics. We made good decisions, and it paid off. We got the win, and that feels fantastic. But the whole man, there's just something about people that do this that bother me, and it probably shouldn't. It's one of those just. Be over it and do your own thing. But, man, I would love to see DICE take it back out of the hands of the players themselves and just have them handle it again. Just make it so it's all DICE servers. Maybe they can make a different server list with, kind of different rules, like a no shotguns list or something. They just have a handful of servers there to play on. But ideally, I think this game, and I think for, the greater good of everyone, if you want to see this game last, I think we gotta get rid of the renter servers. It's these people with their silly rules and they're thumping their e-chests by banning people because they got outplayed. It's really ruining the game. It's ruining the experience, and it's actually really disappointing. Next point: give the gunner in the attack chopper his flares back. Oh my God, to me, I think they have effectively eliminated attack helicopter in this game now for the average player. And I've never ever pretended to be an above average player. Sometimes I know I talk shit, but guys, I really don't mean that. Seriously, I'm really a very modest person in real life. I just kind of do it for show, like I'm just joking around. I do it mainly for, I'm being sarcastic, and I'm kind of, I do it in a sense that I'm making fun of those that truly are that arrogant or that egotistical. I don't really care for people like that. So I mean to do it in a mocking manner, and I know it doesn't always come off that way. And for that, I apologize. But that's the whole goal behind my, quote-unquote trash talking. But, man, dude, it is impossible to get in an attack chopper and have even a decent run anymore. And it's a two-part problem. One, they took away the flares from the gunner position in the attack chopper, and they gave the Igla and Stinger missiles insane range. I understand the reasoning behind that, because they had the AC-130 come in. They had to give it range in order to make the anti-air missiles, a viable solution for taking out the AC-130 itself. But the combination of removing flares, half the set of flares from the attack chopper and giving these anti-air missiles insane range, it's not fair. It's created a significant imbalance, and now it's just not even funny how easy it is to take down an attack chopper. As long as that chopper's going up against one air vehicle, it only takes one guy on the ground with an anti-air missile, Igla, Stinger, whatever, and it's easy mode. You can take down that chopper so easily, unless they're, you're getting into like that top 25% of pilot skill levels, in which case those guys are pretty good and they will dodge it. But that is the minority of players. I honestly think that the majority of players don't have the skill sets necessary to make the attack chopper a viable weapon anymore for an extended period of time. And now, when I say extended period, I'm talking maybe a maximum of 5 minutes. I feel if you can make a 5-minute run in an attack chopper now, that's pretty impressive, because it's so easy to be taken down. I don't know, man. I would really like to see. Something's gonna give. It's either you give the gunner the flares back, or you nerf the range on the anti-air missiles. But so long as they keep the AC-130, I just don't see it being a viable option to nerf the range on these anti-air missiles, because then what's the point? Now the AC-130 is really gonna be unstoppable. So I really think to make the attack choppers relevant again, you have to give them back the gunner flares. Maybe increase the timing on how quickly the flares come back. Maybe that's a good compromise. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Look at that. Just stumbled onto a good compromise. Give them the flares back, but extend the respawn or whatever, the reload time of the flares. That's a fair compromise. No? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think on that. See, this isn't going to be all negative. I've got some other things to say, but let's go on the positive side. As far as weapons go, I'm happy. I'm content. There's a couple things I could nitpick if I really got down to it and you guys needed me for response. But overall, looking at it from a complete overall perspective, I don't have any complaints. I think they've actually done a fairly good job of overall weapon balance. And, again, aside from some little things I might nitpick on, I wouldn't change anything. I would personally like to see them maybe not try and go so broad every time. It feels like they need to justify themselves with every one of these big patches. Like, well, it's a big patch, and it's been several months in the making. We really only need to mess with these 3 guns. But you know what? Feels like it's just not justified, like we didn't do enough. So let's just tweak these other 10 guns while we're at it. I would really like to see them not do something like that, because a lot of these gun balances just seem to be completely unnecessary. That's just my opinion. I don't know how everyone else feels, but again, overall, I think they've done a pretty good job of weapons balance. Their approach, a little wonky, but thus far it's working. There's a lot to be said for consistency. So, next point. Fix the sound dropping out once and for all, or let us know that you cannot fix it. Give me one or the other. Stop giving me false hope it's going to be fixed. I don't know about you guys, but before the June patch, this wasn't really a problem for me. I play on PS3 in case anyone doesn't know or forgot. And yeah, occasionally I would have the game sounds drop out of me, but overall, it really wasn't an issue. And then the June patch came up, and I saw on the list, like, going to be addressing / fixing the game sounds dropping out. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It doesn't happen to me that often, but it happens enough that I notice it, so we're looking forward to this. Ever since that patch, it has gotten exponentially worse. It is just deplorable how bad how often the sound problems are dropping out on me. I don't get it. Side note, I can come up with the word deplorable on the spot, but I can't think of the word often on the spot. I truly am an idiot. Back on topic. If they could, one of two things, like I said, come out and say, okay, listen, we're still working on the sound dropping. we can get this. We have found a solution. We are 100% confident this is the end-all solution, and game sounds dropping out will no longer be a problem. Or come out and say, sorry guys, we cannot figure out what the problem is. It's just you're gonna have to deal with it. That's fine. Just give me a definitive answer moving forward. I'm tired of this guessing game. I want to know if it is fixable or not. And if it's not, then please remove whatever you guys did in the June patch. I would greatly appreciate that. Because like I said, you know, I do appreciate it. And please don't get me wrong. I do appreciate it anytime the developer comes in and tries to make changes to improve their game. A lot of people take that for granted, and I just want to say thank you guys, you know, to DICE specifically, if anyone over there happens to get into this video and this far and everything. We do appreciate it. I love the fact that you guys are still giving your product support this long into it. But, you know, if it comes down to it and you can't fix it, that's fine. It sucks, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm not going to cry about it. I would love if you could pull back the patch, or you know, whatever change it was done in the June patch, because prior to that, it was actually better than it is now. Again, just my 2 cents. Last but not least, and I really think this is where the game is make or break. We'll say like end game and on. So, January, February, March-ish, somewhere in that window, all the way up to the Battlefield 4 beta. This game needs more game modes. And this is kind of where I'm going to be a little more pushy with my opinion and almost try and push it towards fact. So bear with me and hear me out, please, before we jump to conclusions. If there's one thing I really am getting tired of in this game, it's the repetitiveness. The new maps are nice. Being able to play in different situations, so far as close quarters maps or just, you know, the traditional vanilla maps we had. That also goes hand in hand with the Back to Karkin, or these massive large-scale maps like Armored Kill. It's all nice, but at the end of the day, that doesn't change anything in the variety of how we're playing the game. You've still got your 3 core game modes. You've got Conquest and all its different variations. You've got Rush and all its different variations, and you've got Team Deathmatch and its couple of different variations. I want to see at least, bare minimum, 2 completely new and unique game modes. Ideally, 3. I know this game really kind of has it. We're going to go out on a limb and say that Battlefield 3 really hinges on its vehicle aspect, because it's unique to the first-person shooter genre. You know, I really feel like Battlefield 3, it's nothing new so far as mixing in vehicles and infantry, but the way Battlefield 3 does it, I feel like they do it in a very, very well-presented manner. But aside from that, I think that they need to put more focus into the infantry base. That's, you know, a personal opinion on my part. That's a personal preference, I should say, not an opinion. Even though it is an opinion. I really think that putting a little bit more focus on the infantry gameplay, where things tend to be a little more fast, moving a little bit faster, would really, really benefit the longevity of this game. And the good news is, whatever game modes you come up with, if they're successful and really popular, you can just roll them into the next game title. So that's win-win, because then when Battlefield 4 comes out, instead of starting with, again, like the 3 core game modes, and which gives you X number of, you know, supposed unique game modes, which are really just the 3 with different spins on them, you can actually start with 4, 5, or even 6, which I would love to see, like 6 completely unique game modes. So what I'm going to propose is at least 2 to 3 game modes. 2 of them, without a doubt, I would love to see infantry. But bottom line, 1 completely new and unique infantry-based gameplay. The second one, take your pick. I personally would like to see more infantry, because if you want to play vehicle, you can just play Conquest, and that's pretty good. You know, you can still play objective-based, but it's really, really good for vehicles too. So the second game, I would love to see another completely unique infantry-based. Or give us something like tank superiority, but do it in the air. Tank superiority, you know, leading up into it, I thought was going to be kind of fun, but in the end, really disappointing. I just, there's nothing special about it. I don't find it really challenging or anything, and then you got people that just jump out and like to run around with javelins and throw down mines, which, hey, I mean, I guess if it works, but it seems silly. The whole point of it is everyone's got their own tank, so make use of it. I'm curious if they could do something like an air superiority, where it's nothing but scout helicopters and attack helicopters and jets. I don't know how you would balance that out for how many of each one is up in the air. But then I wonder if there's a way they could code the game so that if you jumped out of your vehicle, you died. Like, you, no matter where you jumped out of your, or you bailed on your vehicle, you were technically in out of bounds area. So that you couldn't be one of those guys just sitting on the ground, like say a whole squad of people, spamming the hell out of anti-air missiles. So I think that would be a good way to handle something like that. But, you know, bare minimum, this game really, really needs more game modes because the lack of adversity or diversity in what you're able to play is really killing the playability of this game for me. I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall doing the same thing day in and day out, and it's kind of starting to wear on me. I've got to start trying to think of different ways I can present this game to myself to keep it interesting moving forward, because I do like it, but at the same time, I've got like a real severe love-hate relationship going on with it. So, all in all, for all the things that could be or may be done to this game that anyone could think of that could fix it, my ideas are just a drop in the bucket. And again, they're my own ideas. Aside from the game modes, they're just my opinions, and I'm not trying to push them. I'm just sharing thoughts. The game modes, I feel very, very passionate about that. I really feel this game needs them in the worst way for it to last anything, to last long in any manner. But I don't know. I think I've rambled on long enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a long commentary. I apologize for it being so long, but these are some ideas that I've just been dying to get off of my chest. Last but not least, there will be no weapon review today. As you can see, I will do my best to get it up Sunday. I apologize for this. It's been a hectic week at my house. It's going to be another hectic 2 weeks upcoming. I've got my mom and my grandmother coming up to visit from Florida. I know it's really random, but I haven't seen my mom in a couple of years, and same with my grandmother. And they haven't been back up into town in about 5 or 6 years. Or, sorry, 4 or 5 years. So I'm desperately trying to completely remodel a guest bedroom for my mom to stay in for a couple days, and she's going to be here in like 5 days. So I'm banging my head against the wall, lacking time here. So you might see traffic on the channel, videos being uploaded a little bit slower than usual for the upcoming week or two. But after that, it's back to business as usual, and we should be, at that point, be rolling right into the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta. So keep an eye on that. Like I said in the previous video, we're going to be playing the shit out of that, give you guys the best possible view on it, and give you our most honest opinions and let you know what we thought of it, if it's something that's definitely going to be awesome or not worth it, whatever. I'm done rambling. I appreciate you guys sticking out for this commentary. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave some feedback. Please be kind about it. I'll catch you guys later.